Greetings, Earthlings. I have another update from the Absurdium for you. Now, I've said before that what the Israelis say in British to the Western media is an extremely toned down version of what they're willing to say in Hebrew. And this article from Middle East Eye really underscores that. This is translated from a Hebrew article, a publication called Sika Mekomit, which means local call. Okay, Israelis no longer blush at calls for Palestinian extermination. There is a growing awareness that the Palestinians are not going anywhere and that one must simply kill them to make them disappear. At the end of October 2023, Local Call published the full text of a plan formulated by Gila Gamliel, the Israeli Minister for Intelligence, for the evacuation of the civilian population from Gaza to Sinai. That was the general's plan. Coverage in Israel, however, was limited, perhaps because the Ministry of Intelligence had no authority. It's since been closed, perhaps because Gamliel had no real political weight, and perhaps because the Israeli media prefers not to deal with the war crimes that Israel is planning. 16 months later, Gamliel's plan has effectively become the official plan of the Israeli government. And we know what phase one of that plan is called. It's simply called hell. The credit must first and foremost, of course, go to US President Donald Trump, but it is also undeniable that this process reflects the evolution of an idea long cherished by the Israeli public. Indeed, even after Trump and his people began watering down his transfer plan in recent days, terming it not as a forced evacuation, but rather only a recommendation, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has continued to extol President Trump's groundbreaking plan to allow freedom of exit for the Gazans. And Defense Minister Israel Katz is setting up an administration for voluntary exit from Gaza. These formulations are present almost word for word in Gamliel's plan. Therefore, it would be inadvisable to casually dismiss a call by Deputy Parliament Speaker Nissim Vachuri stating that the children and women should be separated and the male adults in Gaza should be killed. Vachuri may be a more marginal politician than Gamliel, but he signifies a development in the Jewish-Israeli discourse. There are no more threats of a second Nakba, which took over the right-wing discourse even before October the 7th and subsequently entered the mainstream. There is not just a general's plan of siege and starvation, which was eventually implemented by expelling the residents of northern Gaza and demolishing their homes and was only halted because of the ceasefire. Rather, there is a blueprint for annihilation, for a final solution to the problem of Gaza and to the problem of the Palestinians in general. Vachuri's words are noteworthy because they come against the backdrop of normalization of the discourse of extermination. Now, Netanyahu recently thanked Trump for sending him the weapons that will enable him to finish off the job. Stage one hell is going to include widespread use of large bombs. And this is my concern is that the Moab will be employed here. They're just going to carpet bomb Gaza out of existence, and anyone who stays is going to be killed. By using the Moab, they will no doubt hopefully think that they will destroy Hamas's tunnel system completely. Let's give some examples of what so-called ordinary people have to say about this. If Heritage Minister Amichai Eliyahu was made to squirm after saying at the outset of the war that dropping a nuclear bomb on Gaza was one way to deal with Hamas, now such statements are voiced openly, without any attempt to disguise or whitewash them. The examples are many and varied. Attorney Kinneret Barashi, a prominent right-wing influencer, has always Make sure to mention that she used to vote for Merz posted on X that every trace of the murderous mutations in Gaza should be erased. From the delivery rooms to the last elderly person in Gaza, 100% must die in Gaza. Actor Yitzhak Klein, who describes himself as being from the Oslo generation, said in a PR interview with Walla, marking his participation in a new play at the Habima Theatre, "I don't believe them, the Palestinians. I don't believe in them, and I don't want to see them again as long as I live. Ever. Let them be gone beyond the mountains of darkness, and may they die there." Singer Ofer Levy said in an interview on Avi Shushan's podcast on the Mariv website that if he were a soldier in the army, there would be no more prisoners. I would kill them all and also burn them. Bring gasoline, give the order to go ahead and pour it out and then ignite it. Burn everything down to the last one of them, including everyone. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Roaming briefly through social media yields more examples. Men and women disillusioned, racist, all united in a chorus of annihilation. So they've cut and pasted what they were doing in Gaza into the West Bank. And we're hearing absolutely nothing from the West about this. It's completely zipped mouths. Just please don't tell me that you didn't know when this actually starts up again, because we're about to witness a Holocaust.